We've all done it. You watch Rocky 4, you get fired up, you drink 3 raw eggs, and you go out and try to run a marathon or punch a frozen side of beef. 2 days later, you're on the couch with an ice pack on your rotator cuff and blown out shoulders and knees. But can copying the right moves actually reverse your physical age? We are going to break down 5 specific pillars that Sylvester Stallone used to transform into Rocky Balboa. His back, his striking mechanics, his core, his road work, and his agility. But I have to warn you right now, there is a specific phantom force that happens when you throw a punch the wrong way. Most guys do this trying to look fast, and it effectively destroys their elbows. We'll get to the fix for that later, but first, let's start up top. If you look at Stallone in Rambo, First Blood, Part 2, the first thing you notice isn't the biceps, it's the width, the lats. He looks like a cobra about to strike. That width does something crucial for men over 40. It decompresses the spine. Most of us spend our days fighting gravity, getting crushed into our chairs. Our posture collapses, the shoulders roll forward, and we look shorter. Stallone's training emphasized heavy vertical pulling, which essentially acts as an iron corset for your torso. We are starting with the pull-up. Now, if you're worried that you can't do 10 pull-ups, that doesn't matter. We are chasing the mechanics of the pull-up, not just the rep count. Here's the Stallone tweak. We aren't just pulling chin to bar, we are pulling elbows to pockets. Here's what that means. When you grab that bar, I want you to imagine you are trying to bend it in half. This engages the lats before you even move. As you pull, drive your chest up to the ceiling. Do not let your shoulders roll forward like a caveman. If you can't do a full rep, use a resistance band or a machine. The magic is in the hang. At the bottom of every rep, let your shoulders unpack completely. Hang there for 1 second. Feel your spine lengthen. This is the fountain of youth for your back. It creates space between the vertebrae. If you commit to doing just 3 sets of as many clean reps as possible, even if that's just 3 reps, every other day, your shirts are going to fit differently in 2 weeks. Now, building a wide back is great, but it's useless if you can't move it, right? That's the whole point of the Rocky routine. You see, a few years ago, a video surfaced of Stallone doing a pull-up with a 100-pound dumbbell strapped to his waist. He was 71 years old. You don't do that with broken joints, you do that with a routine built around longevity and structural integrity. And speaking of longevity, you need to understand something vital before we move on. The people who stay lean, strong, and injury-free for decades have built bodies that are resilient, not just strong. That's the piece most people miss, and it's the entire focus of the blueprint I created. It's loaded with the overlooked exercises that build stability and mobility so you can keep getting stronger without those nagging aches holding you back. It's the complete guide to getting your body moving and feeling the way you want it to. You can scan the QR code on the screen with your phone or check the link in the description below. Alright, it's time for the fun part, the hands. We've all seen the heavy bag scenes, but here is the truth. Unless you have a trainer watching you, hitting a heavy bag is a great way to break your wrist. For us, the money is in shadow boxing. This isn't about fighting, it's about rotational power and fluid shoulders. In Rocky III, Stallone slimmed down. He was leaner, faster, more like a dancer. That's the vibe we want. Shadowboxing is incredible because it spikes your heart rate without pounding your joints if you do it right. Here's where that phantom force I warned you about comes in. When you throw a punch at the air, there is no impact to stop your arm, so your joint has to slam on the brakes. If you lock your elbow out at full extension, you are hyperextending the joint every single time. That is the phantom force. It's joint suicide. The fix? The 95% rule. Throw your jab and your cross, but only extend 95% of the way. Keep a tiny micro bend in the elbow. Snap the punch back faster than you threw it. Think of your arm like a whip, not a battering ram. Focus on rotating your core. The power comes from the hips, not the shoulder. Twist your torso. This rotation lubricates the thoracic spine, that stiff middle part of your back that hates you after a long drive. Do 3 rounds of 3 minutes. Keep your hands up. You'll feel a burn in your shoulders that no lateral raise can replicate. Now, to generate that snap, you need a midsection that can handle the torque. Stallone had one of the most famous ab exercises in movie history, but there is a missing link in how he trained it that most people skip. Let's take it back to Rocky IV. Drago, the barn in Russia, and the dragon flag. You know the one, lying on a bench, lifting his entire rigid body up like a human flagpole. It is arguably the coolest looking ab exercise ever filmed. It is also a one-way ticket to a hernia if you aren't ready for it. The dragon flag works because of anti-extension. You are fighting to keep your spine from arching. Most guys try to copy this and their lower back collapses. Since you aren't a giant Russian training for a heavyweight title fight, we are going to do a modified version. The lying leg raise with a hip thrust. Lie on the floor. Keep your legs straight. Lift them up. Now, here's the secret sauce. At the top, shoot your hips up off the floor towards the ceiling. Boom. That tiny lift? That engages the lower abs, the hardest part of the six-pack to target. Control the descent. Don't just let your legs flop down. Fight gravity. Imagine I'm going to drop a medicine ball on your stomach. Brace for that impact. If you do this right, you aren't just building show muscles. You're building a shield for your internal organs and a stabilizer for your spine. Before we rev up the engine, I forgot to mention this earlier. If you're into these muscle mechanics deep dives, you should sign up for my free weekly newsletter. I send out tips every week that you can read in under 2 minutes to upgrade your training. You can join the club by using the link in the description. In every single Rocky movie, what is the one constant? The montage run, the gray sweatsuit, the road work. Stallone didn't just run to burn calories, he ran to build mental callousness. But pounding the pavement for 10 miles can be rough on the knees. That's why we are going to modify the road work. We aren't sprinting. We aren't doing HIIT until we can't anymore. We are doing Zone 2 cardio. This is the pace where you can hold a conversation, but you'd rather not. It's a brisk jog or an aggressive uphill walk. You want to keep your heart rate in that 130 to 140 range. Why? Because this builds the capillary network in your muscles. It improves blood flow. It helps you recover faster from lifting. It's the active recovery that flushes out the junk from your system. Put on the hoodie, yes, literally, it helps generate heat and get a sweat going, and go for a 30-minute steady state session. It clears the head and reduces cortisol. So we have the strength, the punch, the core, and the endurance. But we are missing the feet. There is a specific rhythm to your footwork that separates the athletes from the amateurs. If you miss this rhythm, you look heavy. If you nail it, you float like a butterfly, and all it requires is a $10 piece of equipment. This is the one most guys skip. Pun intended, the jump rope. You see Stallone doing this in almost every training camp scene. Why? Because it connects your brain to your feet. It teaches you to be light. As we get older, we tend to get heavy on our feet. We plod. Jump rope forces you to be elastic. It trains the fascia in your lower legs, the springiness in your Achilles. But don't try to do double unders like a CrossFitter. That's not what we are after. We want the boxer's step. Shift your weight from left foot to right foot. Bounce, 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 bounce. Keep it rhythmic. Keep your elbows glued to your ribs. The movement comes from the wrists, not the shoulders. If you are swinging your whole arm, you're doing it wrong. This is where you close the loop on coordination. You can't think about your taxes or your unread emails when you're jumping rope. You have to be present. Start with just 3 minutes. That's it. It will humble you, but after 14 days, you'll feel lighter. So here's how to put it all together in your own montage. The 14-day Stallone Challenge. You are going to alternate days. Day 1 is your strength. Pull-ups for width, dragon flag modifications for the core, and shadow boxing for the skills. Day 2 is your engine. 30 minutes of road work and 5 minutes of jump rope skill practice. Then alternate doing the full routine for 2 weeks. You aren't going to turn into Rambo in 14 days, but you are going to feel something shift. Your posture will open up because of the hanging. Your midsection will feel tighter because of the anti-extension. Your energy will go up because of the Zone 2 cardio. Stallone once said, "It ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward." That's what this routine is. It's not about destroying yourself in the gym. It's about building a body that can keep moving forward, year after year. Get the mechanics right, and the aesthetics will follow. Remember to download my blueprint below for longevity training. Your future self will thank you.